The Swiftie spell explained. Buckle up, everybody, because I have a whole entire theory that I've been developing about what exactly is going on with young women my age. If you don't know, I am 27 years of age, and I have been noticing some patterns in the girlies, and I want to break it down because I believe it's like a Swiftie spell, like the Swiftie spell. I've realized that these fandoms, right? All of these fandoms, all these, yes, by the way, we're bringing back Hollywood videos, okay? Hollywood videos are back in season. So I realized that all of these like individual, we'll call them witches because that's what they is, right? Each of them has a distinct characteristic that like ends up being represented through their fans, right? And I'm starting to see some similarities. I'll give you guys a comparison now, and then I'm going to get into the Swiftie spell, what I'm calling the Swiftie spell, right? I should do the beehive spell separately. So like, for example, like I said, the girlies right now, two of the sides that we have the Swiftie Lana Del Rey version community, the lover girls, the falls deeply in love upon first ever seeing this man, and like he is my Prince Charming and he swept me off my feet and I'm like so deeply in love and we live in this fantasy land together and it was beautiful and it was Disney, right? And then he breaks my heart and then I'm in the deep pits of hell and despair and depression and now I hate straight men. That's over there. Okay? And then the Beyonce version is like the independent boss babe. I don't need a man. I got my girls. I got my bag. I got my, you know what I'm saying? Can you guys see how this is factoring into the characteristics? We're going to talk about the Swifties. We'll talk about the Beehive in another one. So I realized that there's this thing that a lot of girls are doing that I just don't get, right? Where... There'll be, and you're seeing it happening a lot. Like a lot of girls are like making these TikToks like, so I can't believe this guy just did this to me. Like I saw this the other day, this girl's like, I can't believe this guy just did this to me. Like we were like seeing each other and like he cheated. She's like, I can't believe I caught my what was it? What did she call him? My boyfriend, whatever she called him, cheating on TikTok, blah, blah, blah. Come to find out that the story actually was, and she said it herself. Well, we got together. He told me he didn't want anything serious. We were together for like 3 months. Yeah. He told me that he wasn't going to be, we weren't going to be exclusive. He then did exactly what he said he wanted to do. And then you wanted to villainize him. And that's what I realized is happening. A lot of these young girls, because the reason it even twigged on me in the first place, right, is I was like, how is it that girls my age are like, this ex, that ex, this ex, that ex, this ex, that ex, that ex, that ex. I'm like, how many exes can you have had in the grand age of like 27? Like that you can't be forming like, you know, give and take, you know, around my age group. Let's just say in our 20s, yeah? You can't be actually falling in love that many times. And then I realized, because they'll be talking, like, I've been seeing these stories. It's like, but you're the same person who 2 months ago had the same story and 2 months ago. And it's always, oh my gosh, I'm with this guy now. And like, everything's amazing. Like, oh my gosh, it was perfect. And then like, we woke up and then like, we had breakfast together. And then like, he like pushed my hair out of my face while I was putting toast in my mouth, you know, and stuff like that. And then, you know, and they're like in love and like deeply in love and like this is the one, and I'm like they're so deeply invested into this, like they're really in love, like, but they're not in love because that's not love, that's just delusion. And I blame Disney. You see me, the funny thing about me is I was never interested in being a Disney princess. I was never interested in any of those Prince Charmings in there. Can I just be for real? I wasn't interested in any of them. So this whole, like, listen, I believe in fairy tale. Don't get me wrong. I'm a romantic, you know what I mean? I love love. It's not about that, but it's just about, like, the fairy tale of it all. For me, I like to live in the real world. I'm also a very logical person, as you guys know. So anyway, so they're like, oh, we're in love. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Because you were in love, like, yesterday, and you're also in love, like 2 months before that and 2 months before that. And then something will happen. cut my boyfriend cheating. You're with a guy. You're not exclusive. You've not made an agreement to be an exclusive. You're not actually his girlfriend. He hasn't called you his girlfriend. And I love this thing that we do as girls, as women, where we go, well, because he said he doesn't want to be with me, he doesn't want to be exclusive, but I mean, like, how can he be acting like this if he doesn't love me and if he doesn't want to? I'm like, delusion. And then when all comes to being, oh, I caught him cheating. Oh, I saw him with somebody else. Oh, he says he doesn't want to see me anymore. I'm heartbroken. Straight men are the problem. Like, this is what the thing is that a lot of them are saying. A lot of them are against straight men in particular. And I'm like, this is interesting. So that's why I had to listen in. I had to listen into what's going on around here. And I realized that it's just a lot of delusion. Like, first of all, you're not falling in love every 3 seconds. And it's no wonder that men say all the time that when women say they love, they just say love all the time. Because we do. Because I'm thinking, how have you been? Listen, I have been in one relationship in my life. And I tell you what, it has been years. And my goodness, there's no way that happens every couple of weeks or every couple of months. I can assure you. There's no way. There's no way. So when I'm seeing all of this, and I'm realizing, oh, because this is what Taylor Swift does. This is where I'm going with this. It's the Swiftie thing. It's the Swiftie thing. We fall deeply in love. We're head over heels. It's the perfect love story. It's the fairy tale. It's the Disney. It's the everything, right? And then he crushes you. I say, because you crushed yourself, right? You crushed yourself. See, one thing I've learned, ladies out there of the world, listen, I pay attention to what men say. Only what men say, not what they do, what they say, what they say. What they say, because even if they're doing things in alignment with what they say, because the only thing that, anyway, and even still, they might just lie to keep the peace. I hate that. That's the quality I hate about men the most. They say that they would lie to keep the peace. That's the quality I hate about men the most. I just like to just throw that out there. But I get it. I get it, but I hate it. Yeah, so anyway, you put yourself in that predicament, lady. You can't keep opening your heart up. And you know why it happens? It's because of the very thing that we get upset about that has been said before. Because when you are engaging in a intimate relationship as a woman, you are going to be significantly more susceptible to forming an emotional attachment. So that's why it's dangerous to do even in the first place. And you know what's the craziest thing for me about a lot of this, right? Because then it's the heartbreak. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going through it. It was like so hard, like like I really needed this. And like and then this is where all of these things come up. Because you see now, just because of me saying this, I'll be accused of not being a girl's girl. Because I'm not in agreement that every single time everyone thinks that the guy was wrong, that he was wrong. Sometimes they are wrong. Trust me. Oh, I've seen it. Oh, I've seen it all. I've seen it all. Trust me. Trust and believe I've seen it all, right? I'm just saying. But I've realized it's a Swiftie thing. It's the relationship and then the breakup. Like, I know that Hollywood is waiting for the perfect moment for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce to break up. And I promise you that she is going to rise. She's going to rise like a phoenix in the eyes of young women, because this is what they're stirring up. Because even now she's on her eras tour, right? Because it's all about the era. I'm in my good girl era. I'm in my lover girl era. I'm in my this era, right? The eras tour. She's in her love era. And when that breakup era hits, I'm telling you, I am anticipating. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the winning team. This is your local weather woman. I just like to report that there is an expectation of an absolute tidal wave of male hatred on its way. Straight male hatred. After the eventuality that Hollywood breaks up Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And somehow the Swifties are like, we can't believe you did this. And then her next album after that is going to go like quadruple platinum. Never seen it before. No one's ever sold this many tracks. No one's whatever. And you know what the craziest thing is for me about a lot of this? Is after a lot of girls go through this stuff, do you know what the conversation becomes? And this is where it gets heinous, right? It becomes, you know what? I've been thinking that like maybe men are just not for me. The amount of times I've heard that, I'm like, what? Like, I don't get it. But it's a spell. That's what I'm saying. I realize it's a spell because I started to watch these concert like clips and videos. I don't want to go to these concerts. Listen, I've been praying enough to protect my spaces, and the Lord already be sending in extra angels to protect me, especially to be talking about stuff like this. I can assure you, right? Trust me. If you think that the enemy's working hard by using people like Taylor Swift, how hard do you think the enemy's trying to silence people like myself? So y'all winning team members, I hope you guys would be praying for me because I need it. But yeah, I realize it's like a spell because even when they're in the concerts, right? It's like it's literally like being in a praise and worship service. When you're like in a really good praise and worship service and the Spirit is moving, you can feel the Holy Spirit flowing and it's just whatever. And everything is just flowing and it's just this beautiful flow of the Spirit. Well, I'm seeing the same thing because I'm seeing girls are going to these concerts with their friends and we do what we do, you know, we like hold hands and we like cuddle and we like cry and we like scream crying because we all know what we're going through and how heartbroken we are because of what so-and-so did and he was so wrong for this and this is why. And then it's like becomes a thing like, what is your favorite Taylor Swift song? Because this is my favorite Taylor Swift song because like, yeah, this is my song of the moment. Like when you're in the love songs, you're in the lover girl era, you like the lover girl Taylor Swift songs. When you're in the broken hearted era, you like the broken hearted songs. And you know what gets me about Taylor Swift? Beyonce has a little bit of that as well, but Taylor Swift especially, she's the one that the Christian girlies will defend with their life. And I thought about this so much because I thought, you know what's funny? The thing about the devil is that he's so good at getting us to a position where we compromise. I've said this so many times. With him, it's not about fully, he doesn't have to fully overwhelm your life with him. He just needs to compromise. He just needs you to be defiled, right? Because as soon as you're defiled, as soon as you're no longer perfect, right? Then you're on his side, right? That's what he's trying to do. So this thing will take us, Christian girlies be like, yeah, I mean, the only thing, I don't listen to worldly music, but I listen to Taylor Swift. And it's like, I love me some Taylor Swift. And the amount of Christian girlies, yeah, who start to, and they'll be the cutesy ones, like not the ones like me, the cutesy ones that do like, oh, the aesthetic, whatever, and like reading the Bible to my children. And like, I woke up this morning and I read John 3:16 and I was just so thankful to the Lord for such good coffee from Starbucks. And then I went to my group and we had a picnic and like, you know, those girls that are always in that area, like they never whatever. Yeah, they start to show a little bit of a different side when you start to press them with the Taylor Swift thing. So I'm saying it's demonic. She's so demonic, Taylor Swift. She's so unbelievably demonic. I actually had a dream about her for a while ago now for the first time. And yeah, that was interesting. We'll talk about that on another day. But anyway, point being, that is the spell. She's putting these girls under this spell of like the ebb and flow of like falling in love and knowing that you're going to lose it. And it's like we're now at a point where we now as young women, and listen, I'm right there. I'm in the midst of it. So I get it. I get how these girls are feeling because I feel in a lot of the things they're saying, I feel, but I feel them from a real place, not a place of delusion. If you know what I'm saying, right? Some of the things that they say, because they say stuff like, you know, all men cheat. And sometimes I think, yeah, I don't think any men really want to be monogamous anyway. They never will. They never did. I think monogamy died in like in the 80s, I think. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that in my flesh. That's obviously not true as far as the Lord. I'm just saying that from my perspective, if I was to go off of my experiences, if I was to go off of like what would make logical sense despite my spiritual standing with the Lord, I would be in agreement with a lot of these things these girlies are saying, to be honest with you, because that is what the state of the situation is at the moment. So I'm saying I get it. Like, I get where they're coming from. Obviously, it's very deluded, however, and it's being perpetrated by Hollywood. All of these back-to-back-to-back relationships. Like, I'm going to talk about Ariana Grande separately because she's another one. We won't even talk about her in this. We'll talk about her separately. But you get the gist. It's this whole ebbs and flows and this and that, and then we start normalizing, like, of course it's gonna end at some point because he's gonna cheat and he's gonna this and he's gonna that, and like it just becomes the norm and we just accept it, and that's why we don't like straight men, and that's why it's the girls and the gays who keep together and who have each other's backs, and that's why if you're not a girl's girl, you know, because straight men are the problem. I actually think straight men are the answer if they would be men. But that's a conversation for a different video. Anyways, you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're feeling the vibe and you want to join the tribe. Also, what did I want to say? No, I've said everything I wanted to say. But yeah, that's the spell. That's the spell. I believe the spell is to get you into this cycle of falling deeply in love, or to expect or to then have your heart broken, completely blame the other person, can't believe he did this to me, or to do it again and to expect that cycle to keep going on and on and on and on and on, eventually leading in us just giving up on men altogether and saying, you know what, forget them. Let's just like, I don't want to say, I was going to say, couple up ourselves as women. And on that note, if life's a game, let's play to win. Stay tuned, you guys. Lots more videos coming. I hope you're enjoying them. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.